Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by former world champion Nina Hughes. How are you doing today, Nina?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Look, you're always a busy woman. Obviously working, you've got children, but you somehow
Yeah.
managed to find time to squeeze the boxing in between. Just what's the schedule been like today?
Worked, then quickly sparring on my lunch break, come home, finished work, off to do sprints, and then yeah, now time with the kids.
Doesn't get any easier. Um, It's the last time you were out was May in the sort of unfortunate defeat to Cherneka Johnson, a terrible way to
Yeah.
lose your world titles. It's been sort of 6 months or so now since then. How do you reflect on that defeat?
Yeah, look, if it was devastating at the time, we believed that but like we definitely won that fight. We was comfortable throughout the fight. During the fight in the rounds, we was winning the rounds quite comfortably. Last round, my coach even told me to just move around and stay out of danger. He was that confident with winning. And then to be announced that you won and then to have the result changed, yeah, I had no words for it really.
Hmm. I guess right now it's not as fresh and you can sort of you can't understand it, but you can sort of deal with it. But in the
Yeah.
immediate aftermath, the hours, the days afterwards, what was it like to deal with?
Yeah, it was hard because obviously you've just had your world title taken off you. Um, Everything changes. Like you're no longer the world champion, and when you believe that you like when you believe that you won the fight clear enough, and to have it taken off you that way, I felt like I boxed well. I done everything that I could do, and yeah, it was a devastating way.
Yeah. You talked about the corner there. They were telling you just to move around in that last round. How do you sort of feel your performance had been throughout the rounds?
Yeah, I feel like I performed well. Don't get me wrong, there's always things when you watch it back that you feel like you could have done better. But in general, I was really happy with my performance. I thought I was out but landing her. She was catching me with the odd jab, and I was just beating to the punch, countering her jab. And yeah, I was hitting her with so many shots in each round. I just was confident that I was winning each round.
I know the rematch is very much on the cards. Cherneka obviously had to defend against the mandatory first, but the WBA have really pushed for that, along with your team, to make sure you do get that shot at the title. Just talk to me about the confidence that gives you in the system, I guess, and in boxing that you are going to get that shot again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my team were really good. We appealed to WBA straight away because of the controversy and the judging. And yeah, they got five neutral judges from around the world to review the fight, and the majority had me winning. So yeah, they've made me mandatory straight away now. Originally, I was mandatory, but Cherneka, the deal was that the winner out of me and Cherneka always had to fight the mandatory first, which was Jamie Mitchell. So they gave Jamie and Cherneka 120 days to fight each other and then made me mandatory to fight the winner. Those 120 days are passed now and they haven't fought each other, so now they've made me mandatory.
That's good to hear. Is there any sort of date we can expect for that fight?
We're hoping December, January time, so hopefully soon.
Cool. We'll have a little bit of chat about the tournament in just a second. But Shanika's reaction to the result was a bit of a strange one. She didn't sort of seem to think that she'd done enough to get over
Yeah.
the line in that one. What was she like dealing with on the night and then sort of in the aftermath?
Yeah, I mean, she's a lovely lady. Got nothing but respect for her and her team. But she came into the dressing room afterwards to give me my belt back, and her words were, "I'm sorry, but I'm not a judge." And to me, the way her team celebrated, they didn't really celebrate afterwards, and they didn't seem that bothered when there was no like appeal when I got originally got the decision. So I don't believe they genuinely thought they'd done enough to win. But yeah, they're going to take what they can get, aren't they?
Absolutely. You mentioned about being out again early next year. We've heard a lot of rumours about the Bantamweight tournament being put on by DiBella. Obviously, all the world champions involved, yourself, and a few other notable names. What's sort of the latest with that, as far as you know?
Well, unfortunately, they were trying to arrange it as a big tournament. Obviously, everyone boxing on the same show, but they couldn't get the funding or the TV coverage to pay for it. So, um, yeah, so now they're trying to look for quarterfinal fights. So, Yoshida's fighting Cherneka tomorrow night in New York, so that could be a quarterfinal. Me and Cherneka could be another quarterfinal, and then Dina and Amanda Gailey, the IBO champion, if they can arrange them separate quarterfinals, the tournament may still be able to happen.
Yeah. You'll obviously fancy yourself to come through those fights, obviously regain the belts and win that tournament. But who do you see as the favourite for that tournament outside of yourself?
Obviously, the favourite's got to be Dina. She's the number one ranked in the weight. She's got the two belts and the Ring magazine, so she's always going to be the favourite. It's just about seeing if someone else can take that from her.
Yeah. I think these tournaments are a great idea format wise. They really engage the boxing audience in a different way. It's not just an individual fight. You've got sort of building towards a semi-finals and a final.
Yeah.
Do you think that women's boxing and boxing in general does need to have more different formats to engage sort of new fans?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. The tournament was a great idea because it's road to undisputed. Everyone wants to see that undisputed champion in men and female weights. Like obviously you got the undisputed between Bivol and Berbatov recently. Everyone wants to get that undisputed crown, so it's not always that easy to make the fights to make that. So this tournament was perfect. The winner is undisputed, gets all the belts.
And someone that was rumoured to be in that tournament was Shannon Courtenay, who fought on the boxer card at the weekend. I know you've had your back and forth with Shannon about getting a fight on for some time now. What was your reaction to her loss on Saturday?
Yeah, obviously it was a shock, wasn't it? It was expected to be a straightforward tick over comeback fight for her. That obviously went a bit wrong. Yeah, the better person won on the night, and she'll have a long road to come back from now.
What are your sort of feelings towards Shannon? Because I know it's been a fight that was in line for like a year or so, or maybe even more. And you have obviously the injury with her pulling out.
Yeah.
Is it sort of difficult that could have been a big money fight for you? Is it difficult that it's not going to happen?
Look, at the time, obviously, because we was in trading camps and my career was set around, it was waiting for a fight with her. It was disappointing, especially with the excuses we were given by Matchroom for the reasons why she pulled out and why she kept turning two other future dates down. But yeah, that ship sailed now. We move on. And yeah, I've got nothing against her. I wish her all the best, but yes, I won't. I won't. That it's not part of my career anymore.
Fair enough. A couple of fighters that have been out and I think have shared a number of rounds with yourself, one being Skye Nicolson,
Yeah.
who defeated Raven Chapman over in Saudi a couple of weeks back. The first female world championship fight over in Saudi, a really big occasion and big steps for women's boxing.
Yeah, it was brilliant to finally see a big world title fight out there in Saudi, and yeah, let's just hope that they'll put on quite a few more going forward.
Does it just show that the appetite is there, and it's good that the Saudis are there pumping a lot of money into the heavyweight division and into male boxing, that female boxing can be on that level as well, and they're able to put the money in, and the interest is there.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's just about promoting women's boxing more and giving that platform for the big female fights. I think people have proved that some of the fights are the most exciting fights on the card sometimes. So it's just having the exposure and being given the opportunities to show that.
Another young fighter that shared some rounds with yourself is Fran Hennessey, who
Yeah.
was out on the card in East London at the weekend. Still 19 years of age. Just talk to me about how much of a talent Fran is.
Yeah, she's a great talent coming through. She's only 19. She's won her first title. It was a good performance against a really strong um, girl that could knock people out. And yeah, she's developing really well. And yeah, I look forward to seeing where she goes.
What's it like for you as I don't want to say one of the veterans, but someone who's been there and done it in women's boxing, facing someone who's still very much improving and still got a lot to achieve in the sport, and sharing those rounds with her. And I'm sure you can teach her a lot in that sparring.
Yeah, it's good when you see all the younger ones coming through when you're sparring. You notice the massive improvements each time you spar them. They're getting better and better. So it's nice to see their development. And yeah, I enjoy sparring with them. And yeah, I look forward to seeing where what ones are going to become champions in the future.
Along with Fran, who do you think are the sort of most improved and the biggest prospects in the women's divisions?
Well, I do a lot of sparring with Shannon Ryan, Tori Ellis. Yeah, they're both great talents that I think will definitely be future champions. Um, yeah, who else? I've got Eilish, Turney that I spar. Yeah, they're all improving so much that I'm sure there's going to be plenty of champions out of them.
Yeah, some future champions there, and hopefully you're able to get your belt back as well. Fingers crossed for some news soon, and we'll catch up when there is some new news, Nina.
Yeah, thanks.